it's going to open up Pandora's box. But I will say this. I do believe players that sign now, like Najee, should not be eligible now, but should have to sit out and come back in next year. It's just a slippery slope. And I agree with people like Tom Izzo. I don't like it at all.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
OK Dubs has to go back to his roots. I'm not a Jets fan, I'm not a Giants fan, and neither one of those teams even play in New York. But I'm a New Yorker through and through, despite where my mail gets sent. And I will not stand for the Jets to be dragged through the mud in this way. Not going to happen. So Dante Moore, if you do leave, you should be so lucky to fly the plane.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Maybe the fact was that the kicker just blew a 44-yard field goal. Now, by the way, I feel horrible for this kid, Tyler Loop, who made every single field goal this season 44 yards or less. But the extra point that was missed just before that by Chris Boswell was the only extra point that he missed all season long. So did they bless that same holy water when Boswell missed the extra point? Come on, guys. Let's get it.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
The Steelers get their touchdown, and they miss the extra point. It was Lamar Jackson who made the plays to get the Ravens into what should have been easy field goal territory. So explain to me how in the world we can look at last night's game as, well, there you go, can't trust Lamar Jackson.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
And welcome in. It is in-game live game day on a wonderful Wednesday evening. Scott Wetzel, Brady Kannon in for Gabe Morency, who's out gallivanting around the streets of San Francisco for the next 2 glorious hours, right up until 10 p.m. Eastern time, watching, analyzing, and, of course, betting on the world of sports, discussing it all, including college basketball. We got NHL, a big NHL trade today. NBA, we got a few more NBA trades still waiting for the big fish to fly, including Giannis, who's still with the Milwaukee Bucks, although they're not playing tonight. We got NFL props to get to for sure. Some good ones, some bad ones, some ones you should stay away from, and some ones you should put a couple of shekels on. And, of course, the greatest sports axiom of all time is in play today. We will get to it all. First up, what's going on, Brady? How are you tonight, bud?
It's great to be here, Scott. Yeah, Gabe Morency out gallivanting around the streets of San Francisco, maybe with Carl Malden and Michael Douglas.
Yes, there you go. You caught that.
There you go.
Yeah,
I did get that. And we'll speak with Matt Peralta, who's out there gallivanting in that fine city as well. Kind of interesting, the dynamic there. You've got the stadium in Santa Clara. The Moscone Center is kind of in the financial district area of San Francisco. Then, of course, you've got where the Pro Bowl. I mean, kind of disjointed, from rather than just one central location. I remember when we were here in Las Vegas a couple of years ago. Pretty much everything between the Mandalay Bay and Allegiant Stadium, which are right across the street from each other, it was pretty convenient. But it seems, kind of like I say, disjointed, separated there. And San Francisco is not, just a hop, skip, and a jump away from Santa Clara.
Yeah, so should be a lot of fun. It's kind of like the Olympics this year. I mean, if you read up on that, it's all over Italy. It's not just in 1 or 2 spots. It's all over the freaking place. So this should be a lot of fun. Opening pickoff time is what we do here, Brady, to start the program off. 4 plays from you, 4 from me. We rotate back and forth. Start with college basketball. It's a goofy game, but it's 2 pretty good teams. Lipscomb versus Austin Peay. Battle of first place in their respective conference. Lipscomb 8-0 straight up, 7-1 against the spread against Austin Peay. Both are really good teams. Got a deep dive sometimes to find an 8 o'clock start. Lipscomb 6-1 their last 7. Austin Peay's 11-1 their last 12. But I'm getting 3.5 points. It's a toss-up match. You could go over. It's 8-0 over. But I'll take Lipscomb plus 3.5 to start the program off against Let's Go Peay.
Well, I tell you what, I'm going to head out west. San Francisco, of course, a hot spot, as is Phoenix these days, a golf tournament coming up. But I'm going to stay in the Bay Area. The Cal Bears taking on Georgia Tech, and they actually just tipped. I thought we might be able to catch them before they actually got underway. Cal's out to a 4-0 lead over the Ramblin' Wreck. But it's that, very simple handicap that we've seen start to develop in the last couple of years here since the realignment of all these conferences. Those ACC teams coming from the other side of the country out west, very tough trip to make. We've seen North Carolina stumble on the hardwood to both Cal and Stanford. Now the Bears laying about 7.5 points tonight. Maybe you can find a good in-game number, but I think that one's going to bite the Yellow Jackets here. This is the first time since the realignment they have made the trip out to Berkeley. They played Cal at home last year in Atlanta, and now making the trip out. I mean, it's already 8 o'clock at night there in their body clock.
Yep. Next one for me, boy, if you love trends, then this is the play, probably the play of the night trend-wise. We're going to go to the ice. Minnesota and Nashville. It is 6.5 now. It was 5.5 overnight last night. They quickly bumped it somewhere along the line of 6.5. But still, the over is the play. Minnesota, why? 11-1 over their last 12 games. How about 9-1 over their last 10 road games? How about Nashville? Takes 2 to tango, right? Nashville 8-2 over their last 10 games overall, including 5-0 at home where this game is. And if that's not enough, their series is 11-5 over their last 16 meetings, including 6-1 at Nashville where the game is tonight. It's a big number. I don't like playing over 6.5s, but it's 4-3, 5-2. You could get that. Give me over 6.5. Minnesota at Nashville.
Yeah, I looked at that one too, Scott. I think you could be on to something there for sure. I'm going to go back to the hardwood. This one tips at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, and that is Oklahoma visiting Kentucky. And I'll take the points with Oklahoma. Should be able to get at least 9. I think I saw a 9.5 out there. I've seen 8.5 as well. Kentucky coming off of that huge win on the road at Arkansas over their former coach, Calipari. Big emotional victory for the Wildcats. They haven't been that good this year. I think this line is maybe a little bit inflated, and Oklahoma's not great, and it just feels to me like maybe the Wildcats are getting a little too much credit here. I think Oklahoma can stay inside the number, Scott.
All right. Next one for me, I'm going to grab a little NBA action. This number might be a little too low. Sometimes that happens when you get monster trends, but we're going to take a shot at it anyway. Under 209, 210.5, Boston against the Houston Rockets. Celtics are on a 6-0 under run. Rockets are on a 5-1 under run. The series is 10-4 under as well. So you think I would be a little bit more like hyped for this play. I am, but 210.5, 209.5 for an NBA game these days is really low. So I just wonder if it's gone too low, but I'll take my chances. Celtics decent sized dogs tonight too, getting 7.5. But I'll go with the under 209.5, 210.5, Boston and Houston.
Yeah, I don't think Jaylen Brown is expected to play in that game. And I was looking at that one, figured Boston might be a popular underdog. This one is kind of similar, I think, to my fade of Kentucky, and that is Illinois at home hosting Northwestern, laying about 15.5. Now, Illinois is a team I really like. This is a very good team, but they have had a couple of outstanding wins on the road as of late. Go into Purdue as an underdog, win that one outright. Go to Lincoln and beat Nebraska as a short dog, win that one outright. And now it's all the way to 15.5. I think that's a bit too much. I know Northwestern is not great, but this is a little bit of a rivalry game for them. I think the Purple Cats can stay inside 15.5.
I like that as well. They're 7-3 their last 10 against Illinois, so they got a history of being the inferior team, but keeping that rivalry close. So like that one as well. I thought about that one. My next one is a PP pick. Usually when you say PP, you automatically think Brady public parlay. Yeah, PP public parlay, right? This is a pick principle pick, and that's the Milwaukee Bucks getting 5.5 at home against the New Orleans Pelicans. I mean, I know the Bucks are bad. I know Giannis is not playing tonight. He might not play again, more than likely, right? I get that they're in complete disarray, but the New Orleans Pelicans are not only favorites, but road favorites by 5.5. I mean, you could put Topeka High in Milwaukee Buck uniforms tonight. If you want to give me 5.5 against the god-awful Pelicans, who are one win away from having the worst record in the NBA, it's like I said, it's a PP. It's a principal pick. Give me Milwaukee plus the 5.5.
Throw another P in there for pride. I mean, Milwaukee's got to have a little pride and show up with that one, right? Yeah, my last one, we're going to go with Oklahoma State hosting BYU here. And BYU has taken some steam. I think they opened as about 6-point favorites. I've seen as high as 7.5. I laid 6.5, or actually I laid 7, I believe. I think that's fine. Bounce back situation for them. We just saw them get pummeled by Peterson and Kansas. They've lost 3 out of 4. This is a pretty darn good basketball team, and Oklahoma State is not very good. They're just 3-5 in conference. I think BYU has an opportunity to get right here after suffering a few, losses in the last couple of games. This is an opponent, I think, where they can right the ship, and I think they do that on the road in Stillwater.
All right. Here's more stats and trends for that Northwestern Illinois game. Illinois won 10 in a row, right? They got the nice win against Nebraska last week. But as I mentioned, Northwestern 7-3 against the spread against Illinois, so they don't get blown out. They're not playing great basketball. 8-3 under, so generally doesn't go quite as high scoring as normally you would expect. Although I do like the over in the game, 150.5. But it does. I like Northwestern. They're not that separated. About an hour's drive apart between Chicago and where Illinois is located. So that's obviously the natural in-state rivalry. So we are underway. Opening pickoff is in. We got George Kurtz, Cam Stewart, Matty Peralt from San Francisco. We got it all over the next 2 hours right here on the grid.
I'll go to my grave convinced, by the way, if Sean Payton takes the field goal and goes up 10-0, maybe that's a totally different game and Denver's playing this weekend instead. So I'm not trying to bash New England. They obviously are a very good team. I just don't think they're a great team, and I felt like the winner of the NFC title game was going to win the Super Bowl. So I still feel, as we're days leading up to this game, I still feel like that's the case.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
David Tyree.
Oh, wow.
The 2008 Giants win against the New England Patriots, and the Tyree catch of the Plaxico Burress game-winning touchdown. That was the only other time in Super Bowl history where the betting public won money.
Wow.
How about that?
Wow.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
He completed a pool bank shot at just 2 years and 302 days. His achievements make him one of the youngest double record holders ever. So let me summarize this for you without reading. He's 2 years old, and he's really good at pool. I mean, that is crazy. 2 years old! How is he doing this? I have no idea. So I guess we got to start training our youngsters to play pool. Okay, fair enough.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid. Heads or tails? Over or under? Seahawks, Patriots. Don't stress. SportsGrid breaks it all down.
They are locks.
We can capitalize.
We're going to see a ton of over money.
Props, expert guests, and smart insight leading up to the big game.
Oh my God, if Sam Darnold wins the Super Bowl.
Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the Rid, just underway. Myself and Brady Kannon sitting in for Gabe Morency tonight. We were just talking in the break here, Brady, about the Celtics taking on the Houston Rockets, right? You got two of the best teams in the NBA, Celtics in the East, Houston in the West. They don't match up that often. Should be a must-see, if you will. It's a regular season game in the NBA. I get that, but this is the problem with the NBA. We all know it sucks, right? We all know that. We all got to put up with guys aren't going to play. We're not playing back-to-back. We're going to have restrictions and this and that. Okay, we could put up with all that if you just throw us a nugget every once in a while. And once in a while should be tonight, one of the better teams in the East, Boston, one of the better teams in the West, Houston. And, it's not must-see TV, but it should be a good game. Okay, let's either go to the game if you're in Houston or if you're at home. Okay, let's watch that one. Instead, we got the Celtics basically resting every one of their starters. I mean, there's no Jaylen Brown. There's no Pritchard. There's no Hauser. I don't know how much these guys are going to play. Probably not if they're not starting. Instead, we got a lineup of a bunch of who's of nobodies. So Derek White's probably your most notable player. It's why not do this against the Indiana Pacers or the New Orleans Pelicans or, you pick a lousy team, Sacramento. You want to rest guys? Okay, we'll live with that. But the NBA doesn't even do that. They throw it in your face and say, nope, best game on the board tonight. We're going to blow it up because we're not going to play our guys. I don't get the NBA. I just don't get it anymore.
It's not good. And I hear you loud and clear. And the flip side here is maybe the Rockets with Kevin Durant, who was a little bit banged up. He did get upgraded to probable not long before game time here, and he is in the lineup. Maybe they said, hey, This is an opportunity to get him back in the lineup because we know Boston's not going to play anybody. So, he can have kind of an easy night. I mean, it's all messed up. And the line, by the way, we were seeing if the line had moved, with this lineup that the Celtics have thrown out there. I saw it around 6.5, 7 during the day. That's what you were saying you saw as well. I guess it closed closer to 8.5. So there was some late movement there with Boston sitting everybody.
Yeah, I figured it'd be even higher than that. But I don't like betting against teams like that. We rant and rave. It's one of my NBA conspiracies, and that is the teams that don't play their star players. I really do believe this. I think it's a league-wide conspiracy. It's over the top this year because now everybody's resting everybody. But I did believe that when teams rested their star players, there was a little wink, wink. Okay, you win the game. How come? Because then fans can't complain. If you're a Celtic fan tonight and they win, how can you complain that they rested everybody? And then next time Houston plays someone, they get to rest Kevin Durant, they get the win, and same thing. How can you complain if they're winning the games that these guys aren't playing? I've noticed that for a couple of years. This year's a little different because there's so many guys, Brady, but I have noticed that those teams do win, believe it or not.
Absolutely. There's line variance there, that the odds makers are making it move one way too far. It's an over adjustment. The public's getting involved. Oh, nobody's playing. I'm going to bet the other way. And so that influences it as well. And then the backups that get a chance to play, they're playing with their hair on fire. This is an opportunity, right? So they come out guns a-blazing. So, I think there's a lot going on there that, is part of the reason why these teams not only win, but cover the spread.
Take a peek at the NBA now. Joker's back in the lineup for the Denver. That's a great example. Denver had a winning record without the Joker. Now, that wasn't being allowed to win, but it does show you that sometimes even the backups are good players in the NBA. They actually had a winning record when he was out, but he's back taking on the Knicks. A great game, Madison Square Garden tonight, 55-53 at the half. Knicks were, a 4.5, 5.5 or so point favorite. It's down to 3.5 now. Did like the over in that one, and it's not quite as high scoring as I thought it would be. 224.5 is there. I like Minnesota tonight, getting 1.5 or so. Basically pick them at Toronto. They're down 6 midway through the second quarter. That's a high scoring game, 49-43. Still with like the teacups. They're still getting the 1.5, basically it was. And the Milwaukee Bucks are actually trailing against the New Orleans Pelicans. I mean, the Milwaukee Bucks, again, if they lose to the New Orleans Pelicans, they got 13 wins on the season.
They're 6 minutes into the game. They got 5 points. That's bad.
That's horrible. When are people going to just take rip the Band-Aid off of Doc Rivers? He got us a Celtic championship. I'm a Celtic fan. But other than that, the guy has been a failure everywhere he's gone coaching, and he continues to get job after job after job after job. And he's doing nothing to keep this Milwaukee Bucks team together. So 11 and 5, 11 to 5.
Still got a hold of that locker room? I doubt.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, they're saying let's win one for Doc. Yeah, no. Wow.
No.
Between him and James Harden, both they flip more sides like a pancake. I mean, now Harden's with the Cleveland Cavaliers, as you know, traded yesterday. The vagabonds, both of them. One's a Hall of Fame player. Doc was a pretty good player. He wasn't really a Hall of Fame player, but now at the tail end of both their careers, Brady, it's embarrassing. I feel embarrassed for James Harden. He made this big stink about going home to L.A. He went home and he's there for a year, and now he's out again. And I'm sure he played a role in that trade. I don't think that was just out of the blue.
Well, it's a kiss of death for Cleveland. I mean, James Harden is on your team. Forget about winning a title. I honestly feel that way. And not, I don't know if he's a cancer and this and that and the other, but it's always followed him throughout his career, trying to kind of chase that title, chase that championship is he going to try and play for every team in the league? And it just never seems to work out. So I don't think this is going to work out once again for James Harden and this particular suitor being the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah. By the way, speaking of, one last thing on nobody plays in the NBA, have you looked at the OKC lineup for tonight?
Oh, yeah. We saw that line move.
Yeah. Again, now you got your butt kicked by San Antonio 3 times already this year. You think they would have circled this game and said, man, we can't wait to play them again. Instead, they're resting everyone, just like the Celtics.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, and that line moved about 11 or 12 points. The Thunder were a short favorite in that game, and now the Spurs are favored by about 10. I mean, that thing really flipped. You got Holmgren out, SGA out. You wonder if that's an over-adjustment, Scott, to your point. Maybe the bet is OKC tonight.
Yeah, plus the 10. All right, quick little break. We'll take a peek hockey, a little NFL talk as well. Coming up in-game live on the grid.
I'll go to my grave convinced, by the way, if Sean Payton takes the field goal and goes up 10-0, maybe that's a totally different game and Denver's playing this weekend instead. So I'm not trying to bash New England. They obviously are a very good team. I just don't think they're a great team, and I felt like the winner of the NFC title game was going to win the Super Bowl. So I still feel, as we're days leading up to this game, I still feel like that's the case.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
David Tyree.
Oh, wow.
The 2008 Giants win against the New England Patriots, and the Tyree catch of the Plaxico Burress game-winning touchdown. That was the only other time in Super Bowl history where the betting public won money.
Wow.
How about that?
Wow.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
He completed a pool bank shot at just 2 years and 302 days. His achievements make him one of the youngest double record holders ever. So let me summarize this for you without reading. He's 2 years old, and he's really good at pool. I mean, that is crazy. 2 years old! How is he doing this? I have no idea. So I guess we got to start training our youngsters to play pool. Okay, fair enough.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid. Heads or tails? Over or under? Seahawks, Patriots. Don't stress. SportsGrid breaks it all down.
They are locks. We can capitalize. We're going to see a ton of over money.
Props, expert guests, and smart insight leading up to the big game.
Oh my God, if Sam Darnold wins the Super Bowl.
Only on SportsGrid.
Hi, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. Scott Wetzel, Brady Kannon, and for Gabe Morency tonight as he's gallivanting around the streets of San Francisco. Yes, a reference to an old 70s TV show that we made. That I wasn't sure if, I thought maybe Brady would catch it, but I didn't know if anyone else would. But he did. Good job by Brady. So,
Well, I grew up in that area, so
okay.
You may have gotten it past me if I wasn't from the Bay Area, but no,
yeah.
we
and even
up
through
with
the
that
Carl
stuff.
Walden, even one day, like he was the star of the show. Yeah, very nice, very nice. I'm afraid to even bring it up, Brady, just because it's going too well. You know, it's one of those things where if you're watching something, you don't want to turn it off because you're going to break it, for the karma, or if you're not watching it, you don't want to tune in because it's going too well. That's kind of the NHL board right now for me. Minnesota, 7 minutes in, is already up 2-0. So we got the 6.5. We still need 5 more goals, but that's a great start, right? I had Columbus tonight. Columbus was only minus 150 at home against the Blackhawks. I didn't quite get that. I know Columbus played last night, so you're probably getting a backup goaltender, but still, it's Columbus at home. They're 10-1. Their last 11, they're up 3-0 already. That's late second period. And I took a flyer on my Bruins, and they're 2-2, so that's not great, but at least the 2-2, they're in the second period, so they're surviving a little bit, getting decent odds it was against Florida, which continues to have a season-long, not a struggle per se, but just a cloud underneath them. So far, 3 of the games, I got action on 3 of them, and 2 are looking halfway decent, and 1, Bruins, I'll take a 2-2 in the second period. What do you do tonight? Hockey ending?
If you bet the grand salami, you're looking off to a pretty good start as well. A lot of goals on the board so far in these early games. It was before we came on the air, I saw that the Bruins were leading the Panthers 2-1, and you could have gotten Florida at around plus 140 to win the game. It was kind of similar to what we saw the other night when Boston was at Tampa Bay. Boston gets out to a big lead and then chip away. Tampa Bay comes back. They win it, I believe, in a shootout. Even went beyond overtime, but this looks like, and now it's 3-0 Panthers. They just scored again, and now they're going to be minus 250. So that the goals again, if you bet the grand salami, you're looking great. You just need some goals out of Nashville right now. But I thought that in-game opportunity with Florida down 2-1 was a good one, and it appears it was, but obviously that is long gone at this point.
Yeah, and I knew it. As soon as I bring it up, and something bad is going to happen. I should have just gone right to college basketball, or we got George Kurtz coming up. We should have done some NFL. They just posted a number. It took them a little while to post the number for some reason, but minus 360 on FanDuel.
Wow. And 9.5 for your in-game total. How about that?
Wow,
9.5.
We got to get 5 more goals. I mean, it's early second period. Boston does score. They do give up a ton of goals. I must say, I don't have their numbers as far as official over-unders, but I can't help but think they're a pretty strong over team. So, 9.5 for Bruins Panthers. I mean, I can't do that. And you even got 7.5 now for Minnesota Nashville.
176 to the under. I would play it under, but I'm not going to lay minus 176. I don't understand, Scott. Why don't you just make it 9 and give me a reasonable price?
Right.
I know they don't want to land on a tie and stuff like that, but who's going to? And now it's minus 190. Who's going to lay $2 on just a side or a total like that in game?
Yeah. Well, the other thing that they do, Brady, with the NHL, which it must work for them. So I'm not questioning whether their judgment, but they make it like impossible. You can't bet Florida minus 390. And it's only 3-2, 3.5 minutes into the second period. Forget about the third period, right? I mean, they were a minus 170, 180 favorite to start the game. All right, so they got a 1-goal lead, but we got over half the game left, and it's minus 350, 360. So they take, unless they think you're going to put them in parlays, and maybe that's what people do. But to me, games like this are just you bet the underdog or nothing. I mean, who's laying minus 350 in a straight bet, right? In a 1-goal game, no less.
Well, it's like what I was just saying. It was a moment ago that I could have had Florida plus 140. Now Boston's plus 250. Yeah, sure. I mean, a 1-goal game with this much time left, that's where the value is.
Yeah. I'll tell you, in-game live, I know it's self-promotion. But you really can, if you have the stomach for it with hockey, and I know that hockey is probably the least popular sport, right? But the swings in hockey are so dramatic. You grab Boston out plus 265. If they score the next goal and tie it, Florida would go back to being probably a minus 150 favorite. You got yourself like 100-point middle. It really is
and
nuts.
Then if Florida scores again, you can have plus money on both sides,
Right. Exactly. George Kurtz joined us next to do some hockey and some NFL with the George. We come back and Game Live.
I'll go to my grave convinced, by the way, if Sean Payton takes the field goal and goes up 10-0, maybe that's a totally different game and Denver's playing this weekend instead. So I'm not trying to bash New England. They obviously are a very good team. I just don't think they're a great team, and I felt like the winner of the NFC title game was going to win the Super Bowl. So I still feel, as we're days leading up to this game, I still feel like that's the case.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
David Tyree.
Oh, wow.
The 2008 Giants win against the New England Patriots, and the Tyree catch of the Plaxico Burress game-winning touchdown. That was the only other time in Super Bowl history where the betting public won money.
Wow.
How about that?
Wow.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
He completed a pool bank shot at just 2 years and 302 days. His achievements make him one of the youngest double record holders ever. So let me summarize this for you without reading. He's 2 years old, and he's really good at pool. I mean, that is crazy. 2 years old! How is he doing this? I have no idea. So I guess we got to start training our youngsters to play pool. Okay, fair enough.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid. Heads or tails? Over or under? Seahawks, Patriots. Don't stress. SportsGrid breaks it all down.
They are locks. We can capitalize. We're going to see a ton of over money.
Props, expert guests, and smart insight leading up to the big game.
Oh my God, if Sam Darnold wins the Super Bowl.
Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Brady Kannon in for Mr. Morency, Gabe Morency. Let's welcome in our good buddy, SportsGrid host. You see it here all the time, Mr. George Kurtz. Talk a little hockey, a little NFL with George. What's going on, George? How are you tonight?
I guess we're getting ready, right? I got 2 more days left until the Olympic break here. We got a couple days for a Super Bowl, so it's sort of the calm before the storm here.
Yeah. Let me start with some hockey before we get to the NFL, and I'll start off the ice. What'd you think of the Panarin trade to the LA Kings for the Rangers?
Well, the Rangers were sort of hamstrung here because Panarin had a no-trade clause. They only wanted to go to someplace warm. Florida and Tampa really couldn't fit him under the cap. That left sort of the Kings here. I thought it was a weird move by the Kings. All right, you got Panarin. You're not better than Colorado. You're not better than Dallas. Not sure you're better than Minnesota. All right, they did sign for a 2-year extension, 11 average annual value. So maybe they're going for the future. Maybe they're going all in because Kopitar's retiring at the end of this year. Found it a strange move for the Kings here, but they didn't give up much. Green Tree he's a second line forward. That's what his upside is here. Depending on if they win a series, it's another second-round pick. So the Rangers could get a top 50 player or so. Then they could get a 4th-round pick as well, depending on how far the Kings go. I guess the Rangers did the best they could do. My question would be this. I still don't understand, Scott, why the Rangers announced to everybody they wanted to trade. You sort of lessened your trade value once you did that, right? So Panarin held all the cards, and I think the Rangers got what they could. I think it's the best deal they could have made. But in a normal world, he would have gone for more than that if he wasn't so particular in where he wanted to go.
George, the Boston Bruins, Scott and I were just talking about their matchup with the Florida Panthers. The Bruins have really, I think, exceeded expectations this year. We probably didn't expect them to do what they're doing. Another team that's going to drop the puck in about a half hour that I think has been a real surprise are the San Jose Sharks and Macklin Celebrini. What a player this guy is. Do you have the stones tonight to play him as a dog at Colorado? Now, you do have a little edge here. Colorado has played 6 games in 10 days. The Sharks are, have a rest advantage there by about 2 or 3 days under their belt going into this contest. What do you think? Can they pull it off?
Colorado is struggling, right? There's no doubt they're struggling. 3-5-2 in their last 10, right? And all teams go through this, right? It's a long season. You're going to have some problems or stretches during the season where you're not going to play well. No Landeskog tonight, no Martin Netjes tonight, right? They'll both be back after the Olympic break here. And they're both going to play in the Olympics, by the way, go figure, but they're both out tonight. San Jose, by the way, also struggling. They've lost 3 straight, right? And they're 4-5-1 in their last 10. What I like best, I like the over. It's San Jose. I always like the over. All right, they don't have much of a defense here. They're fun to watch. Celebrini, Eklund, Will Smith. These guys are fun to watch here, but they give up goals. No, to answer your question, no, I don't have the stones to take San Jose, but I do like the over here. I have Colorado in a part of, I think, 2 parlays here. So as Scotty well knows here, I don't think you make too much money betting against generally betting against the Avs, although lately that hasn't been true.
Yeah. I will say this about Colorado. You're right. They are struggling. They're coming back to the pack here, George, and they're making it more and more obvious. I never thought they should have been in this position, but they're making it more and more obvious that they should not be an over 2-1 favorite to win the Stanley Cup championship. And what I mean by that is they're plus 230. The next team, Tampa Bay, is plus 5-1. So that's, over 230 is 460. So they're like the overwhelming favorite. And I just, with their goaltending, their offense is terrific. We all know that. But with their goaltending, to me, still being a question mark, like I would not be grabbing Colorado at plus 230, even if they weren't in this slump, to tell you the truth.
Oh, I agree with you. I completely agree with you for the reasons you mentioned here. A couple of more things here. The defense, it's good, but it's on the offensive side. Like Cale Makar is fantastic, but he's an offensive defenseman. They play so well on defense because they can skate so well. They can skate the puck out of the zone. They're not great defensive defensemen here. Colorado, by the way, I'll tell you something that blew my mind when I saw it today. Colorado has the 2nd worst power play in the National Hockey League at 15.3.
Wow.
That's amazing to me. Colorado. 15.3, it's the 2nd worst. The Islanders were a pathetic power play of 15.8, so they're actually, I think, 5th worst, which I just can't believe the Islanders technically have a better power play than Colorado. I don't think it's going to stay that way, mind you, but that boggles my mind. And by the way, in the playoffs, you need to score on the power play. It's going to be a big thing here because, when you get those man advantage, you need to put the puck in the net. Listen, if I had to take Colorado or the field, I'm definitely taking the field. All right. And even if you just narrow it down a little bit, Tampa Bay's a damn good team. There'll be other teams. Dallas is a good team. Minnesota's made moves. I don't think they're done, by the way. I think they're going to go all in. I don't think the Quinn Hughes is going to be the last move they make. They'll make more moves as well here. So we'll see what it brings here. But I agree with you, Scotty. It's they may be the favorite, but I don't think they're the overwhelming favorite now.
George, you know hockey a lot better than I do, but am I wrong in looking at this mammoth Red Wings game and wondering why Utah is favored? I mean, as far as I know, Detroit's the better team. I know Utah's won a couple games as of late, but I mean, this looks like a dog play to me.
I would agree. All right. I'm not going to listen. Utah's in a playoff spot right now. They're holding on barely. They're Utah, Seattle, the Kings, Nashville. They're all within 4 or 5 points of each other, separating from pretty much 6 to 10. So that's going to be a fun finish there. Utah's not a great team. Detroit's not a great team, but they're a much more improving team. Both teams have solid goaltenders in Gibson and Vizmelka. They're both up and coming teams. They're both fun. So we'll see what happens here. But I'll take the dog in that case. Absolutely. We'll take was it plus 116? I think it was. Yeah. I'm not going to lay minus 140. Don't feel that confident with Utah. So I'll take the plus 116 in Detroit. I get my guesses, whichever goaltender shows up tonight. Gibson shut out Colorado the other night. Fantastic game on Monday. Or Vizmelka was played very well too. Whichever goalie plays better tonight will win the game. So I'll definitely take the plus money.
All right, who's busting up the PP tonight? I had a one earlier that this one is Dallas minus 220 and Vegas minus 315. Dallas against the Blues, who have lost 8-9 straight on the road, and then Vegas against Vancouver, which is 2-16 their last 18 games. It brings it down to pick 'em, George, but you know how often these PPs blow up in our faces. So how is that one not going to cash tonight?
That's one of mine. All right. I think I had a
right.
3-team parlay too when I added Colorado, I believe, to it. So I have a couple of parlays with that. If I had to guess which one blows it up, by the way, it's the Vegas Golden Knights. All right. This team, the goaltending has been shaky. I mean, Schmidt, Hill, it doesn't matter who's in that. It's been shaky. And some nights they score goals. Some nights they don't score goals. You sort of don't know what you're going to get with Vegas here. But it's the goaltending that scares me. Vegas is the better team. We know that. But if you're asking me which team I'd be worried about, and I bet them, by the way, they're in my parlays as well here. But if I'm going to tell you which one I'm worried about, yeah, it's definitely the Vegas Golden Knights.
I would agree with you guys. I mean, they're atop the Pacific Division, and yet they've lost 5 in a row. I mean, I'm surprised they were still in first place when I looked the other day. I mean, because they, we get it firsthand out here. They're on the news all the time, this and that and the other. And boy, yeah, they have really been struggling. How about one more? The final game on the card tonight, George. The Kraken are on a back-to-back. They lost 4-2 on Tuesday. Against the Anaheim Ducks. They go across town to take on the Kings, but this price feels expensive. I mean, the Kings, they grind out wins by 1 goal. How about the Kraken plus 1.5 goals?
I don't mind taking the Kraken straight up. I mean, the Kings are.
Yeah,
I don't think Panarin's playing tonight. Not that I heard anyway. When did the Kings become this kind of team to be minus 176? They're in 9th place in the Western Conference here. All right, Seattle's ahead. It's a big game tonight, by the way, especially going into the break, right? To see which team will be the in a playoff spot here. I like the Kraken. It's missing the plus money certainly helps here. I know that maybe Los Angeles is going to feel, we're getting Panarin. We're going to be much better. And they are. Do I think they make the playoffs? Yes, I do. I think Panarin will be enough to get them in the playoffs. I don't think they go much further than that. But I think he'll get them in the playoffs here. But am I going to all of a sudden you're a minus 176 favorite against a decent Seattle team? You're not playing a terrible team here. I'll take the Kraken here over the Kings tonight here. By the way, one more crazy stat for you about the Vegas Golden Knights. First place in their division, the Toronto Maple Leafs have more wins in regulation than Vegas. I mean, the loser point is a great thing.
Yeah.
One of those wins for the Leafs over Vegas, I believe, about a week ago or so.
Yeah. So does the second place team, the third place team, and the fourth place team, Seattle, all have more wins than the first place team, Vegas. Go figure. So, question, pick up your answer on the other side. Who do you give more credence to? Columbus, which is going to be 11-1 after tonight, or the Buffalo Sabres? Get George's answer next.
I'll go to my grave convinced, by the way, if Sean Payton takes the field goal and goes up 10-0, maybe that's a totally different game and Denver's playing this weekend instead. So I'm not trying to bash New England there. They obviously are a very good team. I just don't think they're a great team, and I felt like the winner of the NFC title game was going to win the Super Bowl. So I still feel, as we're days leading up to this game, I still feel like that's the case.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
David Tyree.
Oh, wow.
The 2008 Giants win against the New England Patriots, and the Tyree catch of the Plaxico Burress game-winning touchdown. That was the only other time in Super Bowl history where the betting public won money.
Wow.
How about that?
Wow.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
He completed a pool bank shot at just 2 years and 302 days. His achievements make him one of the youngest double record holders ever. So let me summarize this for you without reading. He's 2 years old, and he's really good at pool. I mean, that is crazy. 2 years old! How is he doing this? I have no idea. So I guess we got to start training our youngsters to play pool. Okay, fair enough.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid. Heads or tails? Over or under? Seahawks, Patriots. Don't stress. SportsGrid breaks it all down.
They are locks. We can capitalize. We're going to see a ton of over money.
Props, expert guests, and smart insight leading up to the big game.
Oh my God, if Sam Darnold wins the Super Bowl.
Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day on the Grid. Right here, Scott and Mr. Brady Kannon sitting in for Gabe Morency. We're talking with George Kurtz, our hockey and NFL analyst. We'll get to the NFL in a second here, George. I did want to get your thoughts, though, and throw it out there before the break, last break. Columbus is winning again tonight, 3-0. Brady and I talked about that over Chicago. So they're going to be 11-1, barring something crazy here. Their last 12 games, we know how hot the Buffalo Sabres have been. So which one do you give more credence to in this little run, Buffalo or Columbus?
I mean, it's amazing what firing a head coach or a GM can do, right? Because that's what happened with both teams here. And also they've both turned it around here. I mean, what are we looking for? Team to make the playoffs, team that can make a run? Neither one's going to make a run. I don't see that, all right? I don't. Well, I'll probably say Buffalo. I mean, they have more points. They have 70 points here. Columbus has 63. Odds are, the way the playoffs are set up, by the way, in the Eastern Conference, 5 teams are going to make it out of the Atlantic. Only 3 in the Metro. That's just the way it looks here. So therefore, Buffalo gets more credence because they're in the Atlantic at 70. They're in a playoff spot. I think they'll stay there. They do have talent. They do. Well, I think they have more talent than Columbus. That being said, great job by Columbus too. Bowness has got the talent out of them. But I'll give to answer your question, I'll take the Sabres. But I don't feel great about either one of them.
George, let's switch it over to the big game happening in Santa Clara this Sunday. We're that much closer to Super Bowl 60. And I know we'll get into some props and all that type of thing, but I haven't heard your overall opinion on this game. Do you have a side that you really like? Points, total, anything like that?
I think the Seahawks are the better team. To be honest, I'm not a little excited about this game. It's just not doing it for me. I don't know why. Don't get me wrong. Of course, I'm going to watch the game, and I'm an idiot when it comes to the Super Bowl. I'll have 25 props on it. It's the last football game. I'm going to have some fun. But as far as my favorites here, I do like the Seahawks. I'll have them on the money line here. I just think they're the better overall team. Do I trust Sam Darnold? No. I don't trust Drake May either, but I don't trust Darnold either. We'll see what he can become. If he can get through this game, I will change my opinion of him. Played really well versus the Rams here. Get through this game and play well, fine. I won't be bringing up what happened last year. I won't be mad about that anymore when he was with the Vikings and he really spit the bit against the Lions there. So I like the Hawks. I like some props here. It's the last game. Boutte on the Patriots. I think he's going to have a nice game here. I think he's going to get a lot of throws there. So I like his numbers, a chance to go over. I think the Patriots know that, all right, we have Stevenson. He's pretty much been the starter since week 12. But if we're going to beat the Hawks, we're going to need big plays out of the run game. We can't have this, 4 yards on a cloud of dust. We need big plays from Henderson. I like Henderson's props as well here. I think he's going to be used more. It's not like he's a surprise. We all know he's on the team here, but they haven't used him. Maybe they're hoping his speed will catch Seattle off guard here. Scotty, I think you and I talked I guess it was late last week. Kind of like where you were going with both quarterbacks throwing the interception. So I've decided I'm going to play that. We'll play both. Let's just get one here. We'll make some cash. I think both will throw in a pick here. Hopefully we have some Hail Marys at the end of the half. We have a better chance to get a pick there. I'm going to have a million others, by the way. I'm going to play the the Gatorade bath at the end here. I'll probably go purple. That's why I'm not going to go the easy one, take the plus 250 and go orange or yellow or whatever they call that, lime. But I like purple. I like Riptide Rush myself, so I'll take purple for plus 800 there.
They actually offer, FanDuel does anyway. I saw it today. I'm just going through some of the crazy props for not either one, but both to throw two interceptions. So Drake May to throw 2 interceptions is plus 3-1, or Sam Darnold to throw 2 interceptions is also 3-1. So if you want to push the envelope even further, that this way you do guarantee yourself some winnings if just one of the guys throws for 2. I think there's a decent chance one of the 2 throws for 2.
I think it would be May, because the way I think the game's going to go, they'll be behind. So New England has to throw the ball more. They don't have great wide receivers, by the way. So I think May would have a better chance of that. I don't mind where you're going with that. It's a lot to ask. If I were to make that bet, then I don't expect to win it. It's great if I do, but I don't expect to win it. It's hard to, 2 interceptions, that's 34 in a season, right? We just don't see that unless you're Jameis Winston. So probably not going to happen there. But that's something I don't mind playing out either. Like I said, I'm open to all props here, with the exception of Bad Bunny and what he's going to play. I barely know who it is. I don't know any of his songs. I'm not going to guess what his first song's going to be. And lately, even the national anthem, right? We always took the overs in those. Figure, hey, they're singing the national anthem at the Super Bowl. They want to sing forever, get on TV. Now, lately, they've been coming on the under there. So I don't know if I'm going to go that direction either here. But a coin toss, sure. Give me heads. Let's see where we're at.
Well, I'll give you some insights here from our friends at BetMGM. There is a slight edge to the heads on the coin toss. 51% of the tickets are on heads. And you're talking about the Gatorade bath. The favorite is that traditional yellow, lime, green, whatever, at plus 280. 26% of the tickets are on that. And then here's the good one for you. The national anthem, 119 and a half seconds. 88% of the tickets are on the over, George.
Yeah.
You gotta play under. When you've got that kind of popularity, 88% of the tickets on the over, you gotta go the other way. Did we lose him?
I think we lost George. Yeah, we got bumped. All right. I did see where he's done the national anthem before, and it comes out to be normally 2 minutes and 5 seconds, which would be 125 seconds. So maybe that's why, that total seconds there, 119, is really, it seems to be a little low.
Right.
But he might speed it up a little bit. It's like you say, you want to get in, get out of this thing.
Try to kick him out. Get out.
There we go, George. I did see where 205 is his national anthem average whenever he sings the national anthem. Whoever's doing it, I forget the guy's name.
If that's his average though, and they're making it, what they know something. That's 6 seconds off.
Right.
They know something, right? I think they're being told, listen, enough. We got to move on here. Let's pick it up here, right? Oh, let's go. Bombs are bursting. Let's go. Get off. So, Brady's right. If you really want to do it, you got to play the under here, but that's boring. So we'll take that. A safety to happen. We're going to have fun. We'll take a safety to happen. The first score, of course, I think it's going to be a field goal. I think the first score of the game is a field goal. When is it going to happen? I don't think it's going to happen first drive. I think it's more of a second, third drive sort of thing here. So I'll be playing that. I think there'll be more points in the second half than the first half. Most football games seem to be that way. So, like I said, we're going to have a lot of fun with this. But I like the Hawks to win as my favorite. I'm going to take the over as well, although I don't feel great about that at all.
You're laying the points, or you're going to put them in a parlay? Or play it straight, money line?
I'm probably going to do both. If it's a parlay, that would be with something else. It won't be an in-game parlay. I won't do that.
Right.
With Scotty
George, great job as always, man. Oh, yeah. There you go. Scheffler winning anything. Thanks, George.
I'll go to my grave convinced, by the way, if Sean Payton takes the field goal and goes up 10-0, maybe that's a totally different game and Denver's playing this weekend instead. So I'm not trying to bash New England there. They obviously are a very good team. I just don't think they're a great team, and I felt like the winner of the NFC title game was going to win the Super Bowl, so I still feel, as we're days leading up to this game, I still feel like that's the case.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
David Tyree.
Oh, wow.
The 2008 Giants win against the New England Patriots, and the Tyree catch of the Plaxico Burress game-winning touchdown. That was the only other time in Super Bowl history where the betting public won money.
Wow.
How about that?
Wow.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
He completed a pool bank shot at just 2 years and 302 days. His achievements make him one of the youngest double record holders ever. So let me summarize this for you without reading. He's 2 years old, and he's really good at pool. I mean, that is crazy. 2 years old! How is he doing this? I have no idea. So I guess we got to start training our youngsters to play pool. Okay, fair enough.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid. Heads or tails? Over or under? Seahawks, Patriots. Don't stress. SportsGrid breaks it all down.
They are locks. We can capitalize. We're going to see a ton of over money.
Props, expert guests, and smart insight leading up to the big game.
Oh, my God, if Sam Darnold wins the Super Bowl.
Only on SportsGrid.
welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. Scott and Brady in for Mr. Morency, who's out in San Francisco. So Brady, graciously enough, sitting in for us as we close out hour number one. Thanks again, George Kurtz, joining us. So late night pickoff time. Sometimes we do it top of the next hour, but we got Cam Stewart coming up. So let's throw four more plays out there, Brady. I'll start first. I'm going to go hockey. I'm going to take a flyer on San Jose. I don't have the guts to take them straight up on the money line. Yeah, I'm going to grab them plus the $1.50. You're getting it's basically even money, depending on where you do your shopping. So, and if they end up winning outright, do I sacrifice some winnings? Yeah, but I won't get too greedy. Give me San Jose. Listen, I like the Sharks team. We played them a lot, had success, and Colorado they're 2-5 their last 7 games. They're not playing great. They just got shut out by Detroit. So maybe the Sharks actually win the thing outright, but I'll take them plus a $1.50.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, Scott. I think it's a good play. I'm going to go back to the East Coast team traveling west. By the way, we talked about that at the opening of the show. The Cal Bears up on Georgia Tech by 14 at halftime. This time we've got the Clemson Tigers going to Maples Pavilion in Palo Alto to take on Stanford. They're a road favorite here. Clemson's a pretty good team. This is a good defense against a really bad offense, but I just can't get away from that travel. I'll take plus 3.5 with the Cardinal.
All right. Back to the ice we go. I'm going to grab Dallas in regulation, minus 140. I do love these regulation bets. Drops it down from minus 225 to minus 140. Do you lose every once in a while, because they end up winning in overtime? Yeah, but I don't find it really that often. I really don't. So generally they lose outright. So Dallas is on fire. They were in a long 3-week slump there, but they're out of it. They've won 5 in a row. They're tough at home, 13-7 their last 20 home games. St. Louis has lost 9 straight road games. They're 1-7, limping into the All-Star break or Olympic break, whatever you want to call it. I just don't see St. Louis winning on the road. Give me Dallas minus 140 or so to win a regulation against the Blues.
Yeah, I think that's a nice way to play it, Scott. I can never understand the discrepancy in price there versus regulation and overtime. I mean, obviously the odds makers know what they're doing, but it just seems so drastic. I like that one there. Absolutely, Dallas is on a roll. I'm going to go with a home dog on the college hardwood again. This time, the Washington Huskies welcoming the Iowa Hawkeyes to town, catching 2.5. And Iowa's a pretty darn good team, but I think they looked especially good the other night when they went into Eugene and just hammered Oregon, who is really struggling right now. Now they got to go back out to the Pacific Northwest again and take on a better Washington club. I don't know if they can make that trip twice in a row and come out victorious both times. I'll take Washington plus the 2.5.
All right. Greatest sports axiom of all time is in play tonight in the NBA. It's not easy, but it's in play, so we have to play it. And that is winners bet with streaks and losers bet against streaks. Sacramento is awful. They're hosting Memphis, which is awful. But Sacramento's a little more awful than Memphis, folks. They have lost 9 straight games. So hold your nose. Memphis is not great. I know it. Memphis is 1-6 their last 7 as well. But I see the one with Memphis. I don't see the one with Sacramento. Again, 9 straight losses. Let's hope it's 10 tonight. Give me Memphis plus 1.5 at Sacramento.
No, I love it. Well, I've got the last game on the NBA card for you. I'll get to that one next. But I really like this college basketball game. I know you've got a late night degenerate special. This is a pretty darn good one late night. The Lobos of New Mexico at the Pit hosting the Aggies of Utah State. I think these are the best 2 teams in the Mountain West Conference. I think they're both going to the dance. Now, Utah State, a very well-balanced team. They're 31st in Ken Palm's rankings. New Mexico's 43rd, but New Mexico's favored. I think that's telling. They haven't lost all year at home at the Pit. That's a tough place to play. I really like this team. Even though Richard Pitino's gone, they've picked up where he left off. I'll take New Mexico minus the 1.5 at home tonight over Utah State.
Yep, I'll keep it short. I get the same play, same thing. You want to give me a good New Mexico team at home and basically pick them? Let me see them lose at home, even against a good Utah State team. Give me New Mexico as well, Brady.
He's got more hair than I do. Let me know what you think about this one, though. I'll take the Clippers getting points from Cleveland. James Harden, it's really odd how they just trade for this guy and now they're playing each other. I think the rest of the guys on that Clippers team are like, yeah, you think we're done just because we lost our star? No, and Cleveland's feeling fat and happy because now they have this guy. I'll take the Clippers to win this one.
All right, that's an interesting one. I stayed away from that one. Let's see if our good buddy Cam's look for that next.
I'll go to my grave convinced, by the way, if Sean Payton takes the field goal and goes up 10-0, maybe that's a totally different game and Denver's playing this weekend instead. So I'm not trying to bash New England. They obviously are a very good team. I just don't think they're a great team, and I felt like the winner of the NFC title game was going to win the Super Bowl. So I still feel, as we're days leading up to this game, I still feel like that's the case.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
David Tyree.
Oh, wow.
The 2008 Giants win against the New England Patriots, and the Tyree catch of the Plaxico Burress game-winning touchdown. That was the only other time in Super Bowl history where the betting public won money.
Wow.
How about that?
Wow.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
He completed a pool bank shot at just 2 years and 302 days. His achievements make him one of the youngest double record holders ever. So let me summarize this for you without reading. He's 2 years old, and he's really good at pool. I mean, that is crazy. 2 years old! How is he doing this? I have no idea. So I guess we got to start training our youngsters to play pool. Okay, fair enough.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid. Heads or tails? Over or under? Seahawks, Patriots. Don't stress. SportsGrid breaks it all down.
They are locks.
We can capitalize. We're going to see a ton of over money.
Props, expert guests, and smart insight leading up to the big game.
Oh my God, if Sam Darnold wins the Super Bowl.
Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. It is in-game live game day here on the grid. Scott and Brady Kannon in for Gabe Morency. Hour number 2 of our 2-hour extravaganza. We're here until 10 p.m. Eastern time. Got a lot on our plate. We got some college basketball. We got NBA trades. We got NHL. We talked about the Panarin trade and everything else that's going on in the world of sports. And, oh, by the way, the Super Bowl. So let's bring in a good buddy and some golf, which starts tomorrow. So let's bring in a good buddy, SportsGrid host. You see it here all the time here on the grid, especially with us, Mr. Cam Stewart. What's going on, Cam? How are you?
I'm doing great, Wetzel Brady. One of the best weekends of the year. I can't call it the wasted management anymore, right, Brady? It's WM. I'm like, well, yeah, just embrace what you are. A bunch of kids getting wasted, watching golf, having a party on the 16th. This is the best. Perfect tournament leading right up into the Super Bowl. It's one of my favorite Sundays of the year, guys. And very interesting tournament. Scotty Scheffler's back in the mix. This guy just does it every single week. He's got a nice track record. Brooks Koepka, his second tournament after coming back. A little bit bad with the putter last week, but we'll see what happens. I'm going to give you guys some picks for this one. I don't know where you want me to start with the outrights, Brady, and I know you're going to have a couple picks as well, but I'm going to start things off. I like Ben Griffin a lot this week. I'm not sure how, in the golf market, but just the way this course plays, Ben Griffin is my guy, and I don't mind that price at 27-1. This could be a hipster pick this week, Brady. Maverick McNeely. I know a couple guys I respect on Maverick McNeely this week. I'm doing this. Wetzel, I know, blast from the past. I'm going into the hot tub time machine with Jordan Spieth. Am I crazy? Ooh. Not so much. Want to know why? He plays great here, and it's one of those things. Can he catch lightning in a bottle, guys? He usually plays 3 good rounds. Could he put 4 together? Sahith Theegala is one of the better stories in golf coming off that injury. Nobody's talking about a good start to the year for him at 65-1. And what do I got at 100-1? I think Andrew Novak. Oh, God, I wish I could get JJ Spawn at 100-1. I'll go to the ATM during the next break when Pearl's on and come back. Anyway, that's a great play. I got Andrew Novak, 100-1, guys. Also got some top 10s and 20s. We like to have a little bit of fun in this tournament. Cameron Young, he faded a little bit last week, but I think he's going to do really well on this course. Hideki Matsuyama, all he does is perform at the WM, at the Waste Management. Top 20, Brady, I don't know how you feel about this one, but you're giving me Brooks Koepka plus 130 for a top 20. I'm not sure if he's going to win. I respect a couple guys that are on him this week. Matt Fitzpatrick, I think, is trending in the right direction. And top 30, watch out for Pearson Coody. Scott, I told you about Ryan Gerard as one of the new guys. Watch out for Coody. He's playing really good golf right now. Plus money for a top 30. And I'm going to go with my boy, Jacob Bridgman. I think he checks a lot of boxes this week. Brady, I want your opinion because you are the golf maven. You got some picks. Hopefully we can hit a winner this week. Just don't let Scheffler win this week. Oh, yeah, by the way, Wetzel, I took your advice. Top 5 Scheffler, Seahawks money line. Top 10 Scheffler, Seahawks money line. 1 to plus money, 1's even. I'm not screwing around. If this guy wins, hey, you gotta put different stuff in your portfolio, guys. And if this guy beats me and the Seahawks win, I'm fine with that because I got parlays with Scheffler. His odds not good enough to win, but for top 5 and 10, you can find it. If you like the Seahawks, I told you guys, I don't want to deal with the spread in this game. As a fan, just win the damn Super Bowl. So that's what we're doing. 2-game parlays to plus money, guys.
I love parlaying a Scotty top 5 because I was actually thinking about just betting him top 5 for every tournament that he enters this year, just to see how I come out. I want to say it was around minus 250 or something. I got to check that. I might, maybe minus 220, but I'm going to look at that one. Cam, I really like your picks, and I was going to say I love 4 out of 5 of them. I don't like JJ Spawn this week. He is off to a tough start this year. He had a career year last year, wins a major, plays on the. I expect some regression. He has never done well at this tournament before. I don't like Spawn. Novak, no problem. I was on him last week. He almost got home. I'm on Matsuyama to win it all. I'm on Kurt Kitayama to win it all. Keith Mitchell, the driving machine. You know, he's done very well here in the past. Haotong Lee, he's won in the desert before on the other side of the world in Dubai. Christian Bezadenhout and Sammy Burns. Burns, Matsuyama, Kitayama, Mitchell, Lee, and Seabez, my outright winners for the Phoenix Open.
Brady, love your picks again. And Scott, I'm going to tell you something. I know this is a thing that like a database and other things can't really prove. Asians play great in this tournament. I think it's just one of those, like Siwoo Kim's hot, Hideki's hot. Like, know what it is, Brady? You got a lot of, like, my girlfriend, like, we're putting together in a pool, like, we have Hideki. Same with you, Haotong Lee, like, you know what I mean? Michael Kim, a lot of these guys, like, you know what I mean? It's just, they play really, really well, Brady. I like the picks. And I also have a couple first-round leaders. We love to have fun on Thursday and maybe build our bankroll before the Super Bowl. You're going to give me Ben Griffin at 40-1 for a first-round lead. I have him to win. I'll take it. Jake Afternoon Knapp. This guy loves starting hot. He's 45-1. Harry Hall, he's a Thursday warrior at 55. Brady, I got Keith Mitchell first-round lead, 70-1. 70-1 for Keith Mitchell, Casimir Keith. And Hisatsune, what? The guy almost won last week. He's 90-1 for a first-round lead. The Japanese sensation. Sign me up. Wetzel, sprinkle. No Eric Cole this week, but I looked at him at 110-1.
Yeah, 150. I just looked them up. I thought that's where we were going to go with your opening statement. Lead.
Yeah, I usually take him for the first-round lead now because I'm going to tell Brady. He'll tell you, Scott, this guy's like literally like top 5, like right around top 5, top 10, and then you look at the end, you're like, ooh, 18th, 21st, where like he just seems to fade on Sunday. It's really weird. That's why
you bet him
you got to be careful
40 every week. If we're betting Scheffler top 5 every week, you bet Eric Cole top 40 every week.
What a great point by Brady. Even top 30, because he finished like 22, 23, you know, sometimes inside the top 20. The top 30 bet for Cole and 40, great call, Brady. I'm going to be betting him like every week. We'll do the Cole experiment like we can do with the Scheffler top 5 experiment.
Yeah. I'd like to know, I'm sure it's pretty easy to look up. You guys might know, not specifically, but I don't remember Scotty Scheffler finishing in 2nd or 3rd place too often. The dude seems like he either wins or he's not into the tournament and he'll finish, 15, 20 and not really be a factor.
Actually, it's not true at all.
In fact, I'll look
top
it up.
10 all the time. Like he's just, this is the only tournament that he missed. And Brady, you can attest to this. He was 25th. But remember, Scott, when this tournament was played, that's when he had the ravioli and the glass of wine cut in the hand incident, and he still finished 25th.
Right.
I'm telling you, he like when he doesn't win, he's still like 4th, 5th, 6th. Like he's always there.
Yeah, he's
like
got a lot of those? Okay.
Yeah, tons, Scott, tons. I'm telling you, like, I will be shocked, and I think Brady would too, if he doesn't finish top 10 this week. I would actually be flabbergasted. That's how good.
So
he
here
is.
you
Like,
go, Scott.
yeah.
What
are we doing?
In 2024, he finished top 10 16 times.
But how many times did he win out of those 16?
7.
So
that's
so
9
You know what that
times
is,
he was
Scott?
top 10.
That's damn good. That's so good.
Last year he won 6 times and finished top 10 17 times.
18 times.
12 times he was top 5.
It seems like he's winning every single week. He only won 7 times last year.
Ask Brady.
Well,
Golf Channel broke it down. His numbers. Tiger Woods had that one stretch where he won the U.S. Open by 13 strokes, 2000 to like 2004. Scheffler's numbers are better than Tiger Woods' numbers over without that span of time. He's crazy, man. The thing is, he doesn't have the Tiger Woods fist pump and the red on Sunday. He just goes about his business quietly.
I think he's more likable.
I know that. It just seems like he's winning. Like, what do we have? 40 tournaments in a year, basically, right around there. I imagine.
He probably plays in 28 of them.
Oh yeah, he only plays
that's true. That's true.
That's how good his numbers are. So think about that.
Yeah.
So Brady
He wins like 28% of the time.
So think about that, Wetzel. 23 out of 28 tournaments, he's finishing top 10 or winning. That's nuts.
Wow.
That is nuts.
It's 5 to 1. I mean, who wants to lay 5 to 1 on anything? But he's 5 to 1 to finish top 10, minus 195 to finish top 5.
Guys, one
think
more for you before I get out of here.
Top 5 is a good price.
What do you think? I'm going to go back to this team that's done me well, Brady. The Seattle Get Kraken. I think they could beat the Kings tonight at a nice price. And Brady, I'm with you on the Clippers. I think the Clippers are sneaky tonight as well.
Yeah. I just don't know what team you're going to get with the Clippers.
It's
Is
true.
Harden playing for Cleveland?
Well.
You know, is
They're playing
Garland
good.
playing? Yeah.
Doesn't
Yeah,
matter
they
to
are.
me. I think they're going to be fired up for this game. I actually think it's the opposite.
Yeah.
I think the Clippers are going to go up to Cleveland and say, yeah, you made the deal. We're going to beat you tonight. That's the way I feel.
Right.
You want to hold on for another segment? We'll talk NFL. We'll go over some props with you.
Sure. Whatever works, guys. I don't want to Matt Pearl. I guess he can stay in the green room for a few more minutes. That's cool.
Hey, he's coming out 9:30. We got time.
I'll go to my grave convinced, by the way, if Sean Payton takes the field goal and goes up 10-0, maybe that's a totally different game and Denver's playing this weekend instead. So I'm not trying to bash New England. They obviously are a very good team. I just don't think they're a great team, and I felt like the winner of the NFC title game was going to win the Super Bowl. So I still feel, as we're days leading up to this game, I still feel like that's the case.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
David Tyree.
Oh, wow.
The 2008 Giants win against the New England Patriots, and the Tyree catch of the Plaxico Burress game-winning touchdown. That was the only other time in Super Bowl history where the betting public won money.
Wow.
How about that?
Wow.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
He completed a pool bank shot at just 2 years and 302 days. His achievements make him one of the youngest double record holders ever. So let me summarize this for you without reading. He's 2 years old, and he's really good at pool. I mean, that is crazy. 2 years old! How is he doing this? I have no idea. So I guess we got to start training our youngsters to play pool. Okay, fair enough.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid. Heads or tails? Over or under? Seahawks, Patriots. Don't stress. SportsGrid breaks it all down.
They are locks. We can capitalize. We're going to see a ton of over money.
Props, expert guests, and smart insight leading up to the big game.
Oh my God, if Sam Darnold wins the Super Bowl.
Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in-game live game day here on the grid. Scott and Mr. Brady Kannon sitting in for Gabe Morency. We're chatting with our good buddy Cam Stewart. Little golf last segment, little NFL this segment. But first up, I will say Framber Valdez signs with the Detroit Tigers. 3 years, apparently $115 million, basically $40 million a year. So I guess that's the official exit for Tariq Skubal. Although the owner of the Tigers, he's older than dirt and he's richer than rich. If you actually put Skubal and now him together, well, you talk about a top of a rotation that could compete with the LA Dodgers if they got to the World Series. Then that would be it if Framber could go back to his younger youth. But that $115 million for 3 years. Not bad. No, not bad.
I gotta believe though that Skubal's going to be gone, guys. You know the way these things are, right? You know what I mean? Like I know they could like, and Detroit's not a bad team. They could be very effective with those two pitchers. I know the Jays fans here, like there was a big campaign for Skubal, but they got Cease. You know, they got Dylan Cease, who's a very, very solid pitcher as well. But yeah, what's Detroit going to do? Like with those two guys, that's pretty interesting. But you gotta believe Skubal's going to be dealt.
Yeah, it's Skubal. We said it in the break, right? If Framber's getting $40 million basically, he's coming off a 13 and 11 year. Skubal must be asking for $50+ million, right? I mean, is there any doubt about that? Right, 5 years,
sure.
6 years, right, 7 years, maybe even.
It's a no-brainer. Like you give him what he wants. This guy's so damn dominant. Like, is one of those pitchers, like, not just good, the best. Like, he's just, he's so solid. Like, that's the thing. You got an ace like this guy. Like, how many times have we watched the Tigers? 2-1, 3-2. Like, the guy he always keeps them in the game. He's just one of those special pitchers. So, yeah, like, if I was Detroit, I'd try to keep him, but he's good as gone. They won't keep him.
By the way, Minnesota, Nashville, the over's already going to hit,
good
folks. After one, it's 3-3. So the over 6.5 hits. Wow. Get one more goal.
Great call, Wetzel. I'm on the over too. People don't know about this. That this Nashville team is starting to score goals. Brady, remember when I was on with you before? They were down. They came back and beat the Islanders, 7 goals in that game. Yes, like the Nashville Predators. I watch a lot of hockey, and I'm watching these guys going. They're playing a lot better. They're more loose. They're scoring goals. Like, that's the thing. They're an over team. Not like the old days, 1-0, 2-1 games. No, this Predators team can score. And you guys know with the firepower that the Minnesota Wild have, especially too on the back end with Hughes, like they got some dangerous players on that team. So good pick, Scott. I was on it too, the over in that game. I got a public parlay. These usually go to die. These are the worst things to do, but I'm doing it in these games. The Vancouver Canucks are not going to beat the Vegas Golden Knights. If they beat them tonight, sure. So I got a Vegas and Dallas Stars beat the Blues are ice cold.
Yeah.
If they win, sure. But this one is -108. Vegas money line, Dallas money line, the old public parlay. Yeah, it's got to win, right, Brady? It's a lock. Usually when you play these two biggest favorites on the board,
Watch
it loses.
Out for
but
Vegas,
yeah,
gosh, is that team bad right now?
Hey, but
George has the same thing. George Kurtz said the same too. So.
Now
is George on that parlay? Oh, we're doomed.
Yes, he is. We're doomed.
I love that. Game's like, hey, he's the best.
I'm on it as well.
Captain Shock.
Oh my God!
Let me guess your parlay tonight, Captain Shock. You like the Golden Knights and the Stars? George is like, yes, I do actually, Dave.
Yes.
That's the thing. Like we play a game. What is Kurt's betting? And we hit it like knock it out of the park every night. We can tell you what parlays he put together. Right, Scott? It's a pretty easy game with George.
Yeah. And he put Colorado in there too. I didn't put Colorado. I actually took a flyer on San Jose, but he put Colorado in there as well.
I would not put that game in. The San Jose Sharks are a very dangerous team. The Colorado Avalanche are not playing good. They played one game over their last week, guys. They went in and beat the crap out of Detroit on Saturday. I remember before we did the shows, and then Detroit came back and beat them. I am not confident in the Colorado Avalanche. For me, I'd actually take a shot with San Jose. +1.5's no juice, Wetzel, and a little sprinkle on the money line. Like, I know Colorado could kill them.
+1.5.
Yeah, I like Scott's style.
+1.5.
No, the San Jose Sharks are playing good hockey, and there's no, and by no, like Colorado, they're one of those teams. They're so far ahead, and hockey. The President's Trophy is a curse. It's an albatross around your neck. So they're going into the Olympic break. Like, I would not be shocked if they actually laid an egg. Like, and they could if they show up. San Jose could be in trouble, but I'm telling you, you don't lay that juice with Colorado. It's San Jose or nothing, Scott. Like the puck line play.
Yeah.
Cam, I got one for you.
Yeah.
Your Seattle Seahawks, in the last 3 games that they have met the New England Patriots, the game is ended on the 1 yard line. We, of course, remember famously the last time they met in the Super
Please
Bowl.
stop, Brady. Yeah, I know. Yes.
Last 3 times. So with that, I'm betting that the shortest touchdown of the game will be less than 1.5 yards at -140. I mean, these teams have a history of, ending inside the 1.5 yard line. I got to play it. I mean, a tush push, a Kendall Walker run, whatever it is, I got to believe shortest touchdown under 1.5 yards.
I want to give you guys one, too, and we'll have more props later on. But this Barner touchdown at +260, for people that don't know, I watch every snap of the Seattle Seahawks. And Scott, you know what they do? Barner's their tush-push guy. Sometimes they don't give Walker the ball at the goal line. They used to give it to Charbonnet. He's out. They might not trust, Halani, because he doesn't play very often. I would not be shocked. That's why I like that Barner prop. I think tight ends are going to be big in this game. Also, he might get that tush-push at the 1, Brady, as you talked about. So I think it's +260 is good. Yeah. And Shaheed's number is too low, in my opinion, too. I know he only had 1 catch for like 51, but his receiving yards is 19.5, and his longest reception's 19.5. I'm going over. Like, I just think it's something. And for the Patriots, Henderson over and under rushing, 23.5 yards. That's too low. Henderson's going to be a part of this game. It's not just going to be Stevenson. Henderson will touch balls, in my opinion.
All right. There's a bunch, obviously. Let me throw a couple at you. How about 1 passing touchdown by either team at every quarter? +550.
Every quarter. You're expecting fireworks, Wetzel? You like the over?
I don't necessarily. I mean, that's only one. I don't need each. I don't need the Patriots to throw one every quarter. It's either the Patriots or Seattle. If we can get by the first quarter, we can get one.
Either? Okay,
either team.
I'm down with that program. Yeah, need both teams.
Yeah.
I'm like, I need like 50 to 1, not 5. Sorry.
Yeah.
But also, guys, a lot of people are playing first half under and things to open up in the second half. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think there's going to be points early and the game's going to slow down in the second half. I'm going contrarian. Yes, I do. Seattle scores quick and often, very early in games.
I got a prop block coming up. Kannon, great job as always, man. Appreciate it.
I'll go to my grave convinced, by the way, if Sean Payton takes the field goal and goes up 10-0, maybe that's a totally different game and Denver's playing this weekend instead. So I'm not trying to bash New England. They obviously are a very good team. I just don't think they're a great team, and I felt like the winner of the NFC title game was going to win the Super Bowl. So I still feel, as we're days leading up to this game, I still feel like that's the case.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
David Tyree.
Oh, wow.
The 2008 Giants win against the New England Patriots, and the Tyree catch of the Plaxico Burress game-winning touchdown. That was the only other time in Super Bowl history where the betting public won money.
Wow.
How about that?
Wow.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
He completed a pool bank shot at just 2 years and 302 days. His achievements make him one of the youngest double record holders ever. So let me summarize this for you without reading. He's 2 years old, and he's really good at pool. I mean, that is crazy. 2 years old! How is he doing this? I have no idea. So I guess we got to start training our youngsters to play pool. Okay, fair enough.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid. Heads or tails? Over or under? Seahawks, Patriots. Don't stress. SportsGrid breaks it all down.
They are locks. We can capitalize. We're going to see a ton of over money.
Props, expert guests, and smart insight leading up to the big game.
Oh my God, if Sam Darnold wins the Super Bowl.
Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. Thanks again, Mr. Cam Stewart joining us as he does from time to time. So just to recap some of the scores here real quickly before we get to some more NFL props. Montreal 4-1 over Winnipeg. Florida scored again 4-2 over Boston early in the third. We told you we already hit our over. Nashville did score 4-3 Nashville. Early second period, you got an over-under of 11.5, and they're giving you plus 144. You might get 5 more goals. I mean, it's still a lot of goals, right? But it's a goofy game. You just might get it. And then Colorado and San Jose are scoreless. And NBA, the Milwaukee Bucks hanging around, down 4 only against the Pelicans, and the Knicks have taken a 2-point lead over the Nuggets, 106-104, with 2.5 minutes left.
That Knicks Nuggets game has been back and forth. I mean, every time I look at different teams out in front, and like you say, right now, the Knicks out in front by just 2 points. They're laying 2.5 in the live market, and you've got about 2.5 minutes left in regulation. Good basketball game. Maybe possible preview of the NBA Finals, maybe?
Never know. You never know. And any college basketball, anything jump off the board before we get back to the NFL college basketball-wise? How's your Alabama Oklahoma play?
In fact, Cal is now losing as a 7-point favorite, 53-51. They are trailing Georgia Tech. Oklahoma looks good. They're only down to Kentucky by a bucket. And again, we're catching 9 there, I believe. 22-20, halfway through the first half. Kentucky out in front. Arizona State, Utah, funny game. I expected more out of a Bobby Hurley team this year, and they're laying it to Utah right now, 25-14. Illinois and Northwestern, my Purple Cats aren't hanging in there, 22-9 right now. And BYU not bouncing back so far off of that loss to Kansas. They're trailing Oklahoma State 11-6.
Wow, 7.5 minutes in, and BYU has 6 points in that game. Yeah. Austin Peay's up 1 against, check that, Lipscomb's up 1 against Austin Peay. We got Lipscomb plus the 3.5 early second half, so not bad. All right, a couple more props here. I am going to throw a flyer here. I like this play. You can bet him straight. Sam Darnold to throw an interception, Drake May to throw an interception, both right around pick'em. May's minus 140 and Darnold's minus 128. So if you get one of the two, you for most part, you're breaking even. That's how we view it, right? But if you want to bump that up to 2 interceptions by either one, it's 3-1. So you get one guy to throw 2 picks. I mean, we've seen Sam Darnold seeing ghost, right? We know that's possible. Drake May hasn't looked great. That's possible to me. I think, you hit one of them. Forget about getting greedy and getting 2 of them. But if you hit one, you're winning 3-1. You're only losing 1 unit. You're up 2 units on that. I think that's a decent little strategy, I think.
I don't think it's bad because I don't know if you necessarily expect to hit them both, but I think there's a decent shot you hit one and then you obviously turn a profit. I'm going to play it a little bit more conservatively and just play Drake May minus the 140 to throw a pick. I think it's possible that Darnold plays a clean game. And do I think May's going to throw 2 interceptions? Possibly. But I think I really like him to throw 1. He has not been his MVP self so far for this postseason. He's going to end up playing 4 out of the top 5 teams in the NFL as far as defensive passer rating. The Chargers number 1, Houston number 2, Denver number 4, Seattle number 5. So, I mean, he is seeing the worst of it here. We know all about the schedule that New England played this year or whatever. But now he is into the thick of it as far as playing some real deal defenses. And he, he's been sacked 15 times. He's fumbled it 6 times. He's only lost 3 of them. He's thrown 2 picks. So he's been getting banged around a little bit. I expect him to throw 1. And I just don't want to gamble necessarily at being any more than that. But I do think, the way you've set it up it's not a bad play.
Mm-hmm. How about May and Darnold to combine for 500 yards passing? Plus 175. Like, this could be, like, not really a hunch bet. Like, this is a serious bet, right? I'm getting plus 175. Their over-unders are right around 225 anyway.
Right.
You could parlay both their overs, but I could get 300 out of one and 200 out of the other, and you'd lose the parlay where you win this bet. So I'll win less.
I think
that's
bad.
a decent chance of happening.
Whoever's
I like
trailing
that.
might throw for 300 yards, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seattle hasn't
that makes
allowed,
some sense.
and Seattle hasn't allowed a 100-yard rusher for 28
Right.
straight games. A
Right.
year and a half. I don't think New England's breaking that streak. And New England hasn't allowed a 100-yard rusher this season.
Yeah. Right.
I think these teams are going to come out throwing. Yeah.
I'll go to my grave convinced, by the way, if Sean Payton takes the field goal and goes up 10-0, maybe that's a totally different game and Denver's playing this weekend instead. So I'm not trying to bash New England. They obviously are a very good team. I just don't think they're a great team, and I felt like the winner of the NFC title game was going to win the Super Bowl. So I still feel, as we're days leading up to this game, I still feel like that's the case.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
David Tyree.
Oh, wow.
The 2008 Giants win against the New England Patriots, and the Tyree catch of the Plaxico Burress game-winning touchdown. That was the only other time in Super Bowl history where the betting public won money.
Wow.
How about that?
Wow.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
He completed a pool bank shot at just 2 years and 302 days. His achievements make him one of the youngest double record holders ever. So let me summarize this for you without reading. He's 2 years old, and he's really good at pool. I mean, that is crazy. 2 years old! How is he doing this? I have no idea. So I guess we got to start training our youngsters to play pool. Okay, fair enough.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid. Heads or tails? Over or under? Seahawks, Patriots. Don't stress. SportsGrid breaks it all down.
They are locks. We can capitalize. We're going to see a ton of over money.
Props, expert guests, and smart insight leading up to the big game.
Oh, my God, if Sam Darnold wins the Super Bowl.
Only on SportsGrid.
And welcome back. It is in-game live game day here on the grid. Scott and Brady in for Gabe tonight as we take it to 10 p.m. Eastern time, as we always do, taking a look at everything, including the Super Bowl, which is in San Francisco. So let's head out to San Fran. Welcome our good buddy Matty Peralt, host of Sports Grid here, also host of BVB, Bostonian versus the Buck. What's going on, Matty? How are you tonight? How's San Fran treating you so far?
I'm tired. This was a long first day. This was long.
You flew
this
in
is a
from
lot of talking.
Vegas. Come on, you're not talking about flying in from the East Coast here. You should be all peppy and all set to go.
Yeah, I'm 48. I'm getting old. My feet hurt. I'm looking forward to the day being over, but it's wild. This is my fourth one of these, and this is the most compact that I've seen from a radio media row perspective. There's a lot of people here, and it's really tight quarters. A lot of hatred for the Patriots. It's a prevailing theme. People hate the Patriots a lot up here. Yep.
That's interesting.
I thought. Yeah, breaking it, Brady. I thought maybe it was kind of goofy, but Gabe and I joked about, because of Tom Brady from San Fran maybe not having a dog in a fight over the years, would be rooting for New England with Brady, and maybe that would carry over a little bit into this, but apparently that's not the case.
Yeah, it took me 5 minutes to get into a fight with a Bronco media member. So to give you an idea of what they think, they believe that they're supposed to be here, and they're all very salty that it's not Denver here and it's the Patriots being here. And on the other side, everyone is sick and tired of the Patriots. It's 12 times they've been here. It's one every 5 Super Bowls the Patriots have been here, and I've heard it's unfair quite a bit today. It's just not fair that the Patriots are here once again.
So Matt, that begs the question: are you going to bet the Patriots? I mean, if the public is so one-sided against this team, is the underdog the right side on Sunday?
Look, I might be dead wrong here, but I think the number's dead wrong. I think 5.5 is ridiculous. I can't believe we got up to that high here. This number should be 2.5. The fact that you get this much value in a Super Bowl on the Patriots is almost a requirement, I think, to bet the Patriots. And I know I've seen so many people on social media and so many people on all these talking networks coming in and saying lay 14, lay 10, that Seattle is going to just completely annihilate the Patriots. And I just don't agree. I don't see the angle. I keep on reminding people the Patriots' path here to this game was way more difficult than Seattle's. Nobody wants to talk about that. The Patriots had to go on the road and win a road game. The Seahawks did not. The Seahawks played a clown show team in the 49ers who had nobody available, and then they played a team in the Rams for a third time and beat them at home to get here. So this game's going to be close. I do not think it's going to be a blowout, but I really am surprised at the groupthink around lay the points with the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, the thing I'm surprised with also, and by the way, the Rams were playing their third straight road game, which is nearly impossible. But I'm questioning, I'm aligning it more towards your side of the bat with New England, but I am kind of up in the air about the over and the under. I don't know. I could see this thing being 13-10, and then it's like, I could see some scoring as well. With these two defenses being as good as they are, but do you have a read on how high this is going to go?
Yeah, I bet it at 45.5 and bet the over. I know I'm contrarian here, and I'm probably going to wind up being on the wrong side of this game because you could make a really strong case for both of these defenses stopping the offenses, and the quarterback play may not be up to snuff. But I just think in Super Bowls, I think the special teams for both the Patriots and the Seahawks are being a little bit undervalued here. I think the kick return game for both teams is really strong with Marcus Jones's ability to return punts and set the Patriots offense up to short fields. And then you can't underestimate the turnover factor with Sam Darnold. He's 0-4 against the Patriots. He scored a grand total of 23 points in those 4 games against New England. And we know about Drake May with the fumbles and the near interceptions that he has thrown and the ones he has thrown during these postseason. So I think we're going to see turnovers, and that generally leads to points. So I like special teams play. I like turnovers. And so I bet the over 45.5. I know that's not popular. Most people are going to play the under. The sharp money is on the under. But I think in a Super Bowl like this, I think we get points.
I tend to agree with you, Matt. I'd really love to see a 44.5 pop, and then I'd get involved. I probably won't mess with it at this point, but if it does dip down another half point, I might get involved because I agree with you. I think you make a great point about the special teams. You talked about kind of the conversation, the overwhelming conversation there being the hatred for the Patriots. What is the overwhelming thought, the group think, as you say, on a love for a specific prop bet? Is there one that everybody's talking about so far there in San Francisco?
I mean, I think everybody is on the turnovers, the interceptions for both quarterbacks. I've heard that said numerous times. I think you can get it basically a plus 200 for both Sam Darnold and Drake May to throw a pick in the game on Sunday. So I think that's a very popular pick. I've seen a lot of people come in and just talk about the quarterback play in general. Drake May rushing yards. Some people love the over, saying Drake May is going to run for his life. I've seen other people quote the Seattle defense stopping running quarterbacks, and the Drake May under 36.5 yards rushing is the bet of the game because he's not going to be able to run the way he's run so much here for New England. So I think a lot of it is centered on the quarterbacks, as you would expect. A lot of MVP conversations too, saying, hey, don't lay the money line with Seattle, take either Sam Darnold or JSN to be the MVP. You get plus money on those bets, and that's a better way of playing it. If you think the Seahawks are going to win, it's highly unlikely that anyone else besides those two players wind up with the MVP.
All right, what about you? What props do you like?
So the prop I make every year right away is under 1.5 yards for the shortest touchdown.
You too? I go over. I go over. I get suckered into the over all the time. Yeah, I know I'm stupid.
Every single year. It's the first bet
Matt.
I make.
I'm with you.
Yeah. I go under. You get the flag in the end zone. You get the guy knocked out at the end zone. The ball gets placed at the 1 yard line way too often for my liking, where it's just a quick little dive into the end zone for a touchdown. So that's the first bet I make all the time. I do think Sam Darnold throws a pick. So I do like Sam Darnold to throw an interception here. I think people are sleeping on the Patriots in the first half. The Patriots haven't lost a first half money line since week 3 of this season. They are running through teams early. Patriots are catching 3 points in the first half, +3. You get a field goal total here. I think you take the Patriots +3 in the first half. And like I mentioned, I like the over in this game. I do think we're going to see points. I like the Patriots to win this game. I think people have completely overlooked this team, and I think the path to this game, wild card teams against teams who have not played in the wild card round historically have done very well in the Super Bowl.
That's an interesting one you bring up, Matt. And I've got the Bible over here, the 50-plus page packet from the Westgate Superbook. And I know it's in here somewhere, but I'm sure it's a pretty decent price to play New England to win the first half, Seattle to win the game. Do you think that's feasible?
I looked at it last night. I think it's +260 on that.
Ooh,
I think it's very feasible for that to happen. I think that's if you're looking for some plus money, something to have fun with, absolutely, I think that's a really good angle to take a look at here. Again, if you're kind of risk adverse, I think taking the points here in this game, I don't mind a same game parlay to take the Patriots from 5 up to 11 and then take the total up from 45.5, 46, take it up to 51.5 and go under. I think that's one way of playing this game. If you are nervous about this thing falling close to the number, I think that's also a way you can play this. If you don't want to just get into some prop betting, I think you can tease this game and feel pretty safe. I don't see the Patriots losing this game by 10 or more points. It would be very surprising to see Seattle take them apart like that.
18-2 against the spread are the New England Patriots first half this year. They did lose last week, but they didn't lose. They weren't trailing. They were tied 7-7 as road favorite. Yeah. Well, yeah, you probably laid a point and a half in first half.
Well, no, if you took it's money line, it's not ATS. It's the money line that you look at. Patriots money line. They've not lost the money line since week 3 this season.
Yeah, even against the spread, and they've been favored quite a bit, Matt. They're 18-2 against the spread. That's how dominant they've been in the first half. It really is. So that +260. I'd take New England and New England rather than New England and Seattle. I don't know what the payoff on that would be. But, Matty, great job as always, man. I do appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of the week and look for your plays.
Thanks, guys.
I'll go to my grave convinced, by the way, if Sean Payton takes the field goal and goes up 10-0, maybe that's a totally different game and Denver's playing this weekend instead. So I'm not trying to bash New England. They obviously are a very good team. I just don't think they're a great team, and I felt like the winner of the NFC title game was going to win the Super Bowl. So I still feel, as we're days leading up to this game, I still feel like that's the case.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
David Tyree.
Oh, wow.
The 2008 Giants win against the New England Patriots, and the Tyree catch of the Plaxico Burress game-winning touchdown. That was the only other time in Super Bowl history where the betting public won money.
Wow.
How about that?
Wow.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
He completed a pool bank shot at just 2 years and 302 days. His achievements make him one of the youngest double record holders ever. So let me summarize this for you without reading. He's 2 years old, and he's really good at pool. I mean, that is crazy. 2 years old! How is he doing this? I have no idea. So I guess we got to start training our youngsters to play pool. Okay, fair enough.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid. Heads or tails? Over or under? Seahawks, Patriots. Don't stress. SportsGrid breaks it all down.
They are locks. We can capitalize. We're going to see a ton of over money.
Props, expert guests, and smart insight leading up to the big game.
Oh my God, if Sam Darnold wins the Super Bowl.
Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. Scott and Brady, 2 segments go with more NFL props. I will say this, Brady, and thanks again to Matty Peralt for joining us. Listen, he hasn't been great, Sam Darnold, before this year and last year. Don't get me wrong. But I think there is a misperception just a little bit about how bad he's been. He's not that bad. Like his first year, rookie year, 4-9 with the Jets. Good. Okay, rookie year, right? His next year, he went 7-6 with the Jets. The following year, I forget what exactly happened, but he imploded 2-10 with the Jets, right? And then 4-7, but then 4-2 with Carolina. And then for whatever reason, Carolina said, "See you later, we don't want you." So is 21-35 good, Scott? No, it's not. That's his overall record before last year and this year. But it's not like he was just brutal. You know, I mean, the Jets were brutal, but he actually had a winning record with the Jets. He actually had a winning record with Carolina. And what have the Jets and Carolina done since he left? It's not like he left teams that all of a sudden were good and oh, yeah, you know what? He was the problem. So this turnaround, this renaissance and everything else you want to call it with Sam Darnold, he just needed to be on a halfway decent team. There's a long list of quarterbacks who are pretty good quarterbacks that can't elevate a bad team. And, you know, he's in that category. But I don't think he was ever as bad as people. He's known for 2 things, right? Seeing ghosts. The Monday Night Football game, that statement alone has killed him over the years. And then the bad play that he had against Minnesota to close out the regular season and in the playoffs. Those 2 things have done more damage for this poor guy, but he's actually halfway decent, long story short.
I agree with you. And it all changed for me when he started to get some run in Carolina. And sometimes I think what it felt like to me going back to that time was he was just kind of starting to mature as an NFL player.
Right.
And then you talk about the coaching. I think it might have been Frank Reich back at that time with Carolina, who was a pretty decent quarterback guru, and we started to see Sam Darnold be able to scramble a little bit. He was slinging the ball around a little bit. And then look at the coaches he's had since then. He becomes a backup in San Francisco with Kyle Shanahan, filled in admirably for Brock Purdy a couple times, goes to Kevin O'Connell, very good offensive guy over in Minnesota, has an amazing season with him, then goes, to the Seahawks with Clint Kubiak, tremendous offensive coordinator there. So, yeah, I think it's just growing as a player and then getting some tremendous coaching and playing on good teams. Yeah, I think this guy's he's obviously he's a Super Bowl quarterback at this point. Is he that great? No, but he is definitely a pretty darn good quarterback.
All right. Here's my lock of the day. Try and get one of these out to you. On Monday, we gave you the interceptions with Drake May and Sam Darnold. Play both, and if hopefully you get both to throw a pick, and if not, you get one. One of the 2 is throwing an interception. Yesterday, we gave over 26.5 yards receiving Mac Hollins for New England. He's hit that basically every single game. Even the Dredge game 2 weeks ago in Denver, he had 51 yards receiving. Got a little stomach injury, but he's playing. There's no way he's missing a Super Bowl. So I love that one. So the hot one tonight, Brady, that I found is, I know it sounds goofy, and maybe not every site offers this, but how about Seattle punts over 3.5? And you're like, what kind of dopey bet is that, Scott, right? Well, if you look at the Seattle schedule and you look at their punter and you see how many times the dude has punted 3 or 4 times, it's basically every game. It really is. And the games that he didn't is the absolute blowout games where they put 35, 40 points on the board. I really don't think they're going to put 35, 45. I mean, like I said, I'm kind of like iffy on whether this is going to be a high-scoring game or a low-scoring game, but I don't think it's going to be a 60-point game. I don't think the winning team is going to get 30 points. I really don't. So, like I said, the only time he didn't get 4 punts is when they put 35, 40 points on the board. So I really, I know it sounds goofy, but I think they'll be conservative in the first half. They don't want to do anything stupid with Sam Darnold. First drive, throw a pick. No, you don't want that. I could see a couple of punts in the first quarter alone. How is that not going to hit, long story short?
I don't disagree with you. It sounds very reasonable to me. Is there some juice on that, or is it just minus 110 either way?
Plus 110.
Oh,
Plus
okay.
110.
So a small dog that he'll be over 3.5 punts.
Yeah.
You know, I make the game as far as the total. I'm kind of with you. And we mentioned this in the last segment with Matt. If it was at 44.5, I'd probably play over. I kind of, as far as like my final score prediction and that type of thing, I see it landing 47. I think the game could land 47. Let's say it goes over the total just by a little bit. And I still think you could have 4 punts by the Seahawks.
Yeah. Think about this. They put 41 on the board last week against San Fran, and he still punted 3 times. Last time in the game before that against the Rams, he punted 5 times. 5 times, 4 times, 2 times against New Orleans, but again, they put 44 on the board. 1 time against Tampa Bay, but they put 35 on the board. 7, 4, 3, but they put 38 on the board against Washington. The weird one was, 2 against the Rams, but that's the Sam Darnold throwing 5,000 interceptions, so you're not going to punt the ball since he's turned the ball over. 4 against Minnesota, 3 against Atlanta, but they put 37 on the board. 4, 5. The only 2 weird ones were 2 against Carolina when they only scored 27 points, and then they 1 against San Fran when it was a 13-3 game. I'd have to look that one up and see why they only punted 1 time. But all the games, like I said, if it was a normal 24-17 whatever score, he's punted 4 or 5 times. And I even like the over 7.5 for the game. If you want to, if you don't want to risk it on Seattle. I think there'll be 8 punts in this game.
By the way, 119 to 117, the Knicks beat the Nuggets by 2. That was a really good basketball game.
Oh, not
overhearing it all. Maybe. Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's
because
goals
I'm
to the
sure
free throw line.
on my screen that it is the end of overtime, but maybe not. Maybe we're not done in the Garden just yet. This has been a heck of a basketball game, man.
Yeah. We're not done getting goals. Minnesota, Nashville tied at 4, and the Bruins came back and tied up Florida 4-4. How about that? We'll close up shop next here on the Grid.
I'll go to my grave convinced, by the way, if Sean Payton takes the field goal and goes up 10-0, maybe that's a totally different game and Denver's playing this weekend instead. So I'm not trying to bash New England. They obviously are a very good team. I just don't think they're a great team, and I felt like the winner of the NFC title game was going to win the Super Bowl. So I still feel, as we're days leading up to this game, I still feel like that's the case.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
David Tyree.
Oh, wow.
The 2008 Giants win against the New England Patriots, and the Tyree catch of the Plaxico Burress game-winning touchdown. That was the only other time in Super Bowl history where the betting public won money.
Wow.
How about that?
Wow.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
He completed a pool bank shot at just 2 years and 302 days. His achievements make him one of the youngest double record holders ever. So let me summarize this for you without reading. He's 2 years old, and he's really good at pool. I mean, that is crazy. 2 years old! How is he doing this? I have no idea. So I guess we got to start training our youngsters to play pool. Okay, fair enough.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid. Heads or tails? Over or under? Seahawks, Patriots. Don't stress. SportsGrid breaks it all down.
They are locks. We can capitalize. We're going to see a ton of over money.
Props, expert guests, and smart insight leading up to the big game.
Oh my God, if Sam Darnold wins the Super Bowl.
Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. Scott and Brady Kannon sitting in for Gabe Morency tonight. Here's one more prop here, Brady, that you have to play, even if you don't think it's going to happen, and I really don't, but you just have to, because if it hits, you'll be like, what am I, an idiot? How didn't I play that just as a hunch? I play 5,000 hunches. And that is, will the score be the same as it was with the Marshawn Lynch? New England 28, Seattle 24, pays 350 to 1. Do yourself a favor, folks. Invest $1. Even if it's $1, because again, you know how goofy things occur, right? I could just see it somehow or another being the same score, and you're going to be like, oh my God, how did I play that? Of course, not saying it's rigged or anything. So you just, even if it's $1, just to say, oh yeah, I had it. Yep, I got it. I got my $350. So
I like it. And it's a very reasonable score. I mean, that puts you at 52. You're a ways over the total, but basically it's one touchdown more than the total, which is not outlandish. No, I don't think that score is crazy town. I didn't come up with that score, but I did make some. And again, these are just lottery ticket type bets. These are not ones I'm seriously investing in. These are long shots. Final score for Seattle. And I'm not calling, there are markets obviously where you can guess the exact score of the game. I'm going to guess the exact score by an individual team. That way they don't have to win or lose. If it lands on that number, you get paid. 27 points for Seattle is 12 to 1. Or excuse me, 27. No, that's right. 27 points for Seattle is 12 to 1. 29 points for Seattle is 40 to 1. 18 points for the Patriots is 40 to 1. 20 points for the Patriots is 10 to 1. I think I'm going to try all four of those numbers. And if you hit one, you come out ahead. You might lose all four, but again, this is not a big boy money bet. This is a for fun bet. You try and predict it and see if you can get it.
Yeah. I'll give you another one that same thing, same category, right? And there's certain props that you bet, Brady, that if you think it's going to be a low-scoring game, and then others you bet if you think it's going to be a high-scoring game, right? So this would be in the lower-scoring game category. Most are in the higher. But score be tied at the end of every quarter, which means it's got to go to overtime. 225, though, to 1. If you think it's going to be a 20-17 game, to be tied, nothing after the first quarter, 10-10, 7-7, whatever at halftime. Probably you can't really hedge that. Not that I can figure out anyway at this point, but 225 to 1. Again, put like $10 aside, maybe 20, and just sprinkle a couple of dollars on these things. But I could see if it's a low scoring game, like I think it could be, 3-3 or 0-0, I said 7-7, 225 to 1. That's worth a flyer for me.
Well, this is a popular one that I know the general public likes to bet because it's of the nature of bet a little to win a lot. And it's a bit more conservative than your play. Obviously doesn't pay as much, but you just bet on, yes, there will be overtime. And I think that's about 8 to 1, so
9 to 1 on FanDuel.
9 to 1.
Yeah.
It's usually in that neighborhood, 8 to 10 to 1 or something like that. Now, the spread would tell you that the game's not going to be that close, but I mean, why wouldn't it go to overtime? It might. Usually they do. That's why it's 8 to 1 or 9 to 1 or whatever. But I don't think that's an awful for fun play either.
How about one rushing touchdown by either team? So it doesn't have to be all Seattle or all New England. One rushing touchdown by either team every quarter, 27 to 1.
I think I like the passing one better, Scott. You brought that earlier in the program. At least, and I think that was when we had Cam on. At least one passing touchdown by either team. Right. And you talked about it too. Both of these defenses are very stout against the run. I think there might be more of an emphasis to pass. And I don't know why. It just seems like I'm envisioning that happening more so than a rushing touchdown every quarter.
Yeah. And that's why the passing touchdown is 5.5 to 1, and the rushing touchdown is 27 to 1.
Oh, okay.
Big difference. That's it.
Yes.
My my late night DGen special, I'm going to grab the under 136.5 Pepperdine and Seattle, Brady. Two strong under teams. In fact, Seattle's got under 6 straight. Pepperdine 12-6 under their last 18 games. And Seattle 5-0 under at home as well. So there's really nice. Yeah. Great job, Brady. Do appreciate it. And then for GameDay. Do it again on Friday. Thursday. Friday.